There is a moment, usually in the quiet hours before sunrise, when the world feels carved from stillness. In that silence, you begin to hear things you could never notice in the noise, the weight of your regrets, the tension of your unspoken fears, the truth of how much you have allowed into your life that never belonged there. Life becomes heavy, not because of what you carry, but because of what you refuse to release. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the art of quiet removal, the discipline of eliminating what weakens you without announcing your evolution to anyone. Growth is not loud. Transformation happens in silence. The Stoics taught that clarity is born from subtraction. When a man is overwhelmed, it is rarely because his life is difficult. It is because his life is cluttered. Noise clouds judgment, buries intuition, and drowns the inner voice meant to guide him. Stoicism is the discipline of recognizing what must stay and what must be removed. It is not about adding more strength, more habits, or more routines. It is about cutting the unnecessary so your natural strength has room to breathe. A man becomes powerful when he stops scattering his energy. Today, you will see 10 things you must quietly eliminate from your life if you want peace, direction, and sovereignty over your mind. Let us begin. Number 1. Eliminate the people who drain your energy. One truth many men delay facing is that some people exhaust you simply by existing in your life. They bring chaos, conflict, uncertainty, or emotional turbulence that slowly erodes your strength. You feel heavier after talking to them. You feel smaller after trusting them. A man cannot rise while carrying others who refuse to stand on their own. Seneca said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." Imagine a friend who constantly complains, demands attention, and never takes responsibility. Over time, their weight becomes yours. The practical step: create silent distance. You do not announce it, you do not justify it, you simply reclaim your energy. The insight: a peaceful life begins with the courage to remove those who prefer misery over growth. Number 2. Eliminate the habit of overthinking. Overthinking is the quiet thief of masculine clarity. It traps you in hypothetical futures and imagined disasters, draining the courage you need to act. Many men replay conversations, obsess over mistakes, or forecast failures so vividly that their mind becomes a battlefield. Epictetus taught, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think of the nights you lay awake rehearsing outcomes that never happened. Think of the opportunities you lost because fear whispered louder than logic. The action step: practice the Stoic pause. 3 breaths, 1 question, 1 decision. Ask yourself, what is within my control right now? Then move. The insight: a man who thinks endlessly does nothing. A man who decides calmly shapes his destiny. Number 3. Eliminate the need for approval. The desire for approval weakens a man more silently than any enemy. When you crave validation, you surrender your identity, adjusting your values to avoid disapproval. You smile when you want to confront, you stay silent when you should speak, and you say yes when your soul screams no. Picture a man who posts online, checks the reactions, and lets strangers dictate his worth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not the approval of others that should concern you, but the approval of your own mind." The action: act according to principle, not applause. Make decisions based on what strengthens you, not what pleases the crowd. The insight: the man who abandons approval becomes the man others quietly respect. Number 4. Eliminate emotional reactivity. A reactive man is easily controlled. His emotions become levers others can pull. Anger makes him reckless, pride makes him blind, and insecurity makes him predictable. Picture someone insulting you, and instead of responding with calm discipline, you explode and lose all advantage. The Stoics taught that power belongs to the man who governs himself. Seneca wrote, "He who is angry is conquered." Emotional reactivity destroys your peace because it hands your steering wheel to anyone who provokes you. The action step: delay your response by a single minute during emotional spikes. In that minute, you reclaim control. The insight: a man who cannot be provoked is a man who cannot be manipulated. Number 5. Eliminate the clutter in your environment. A chaotic environment quietly creates a chaotic mind. When your space is filled with distractions, unfinished tasks, old memories, or physical disorder, your energy remains scattered. Imagine waking up in a room with clothes on the floor, old papers on the table, and digital clutter on your devices. Your mind is already overwhelmed before the day begins. The Stoics believed in simplicity because simplicity restores focus. Epictetus taught that freedom is found not in possessions but in mastery over desire. The action step: remove 10 unnecessary items from your environment today, physical or digital. You will feel lighter immediately. The insight: when you clear your space, you clear the path for discipline, purpose, and inner order. Number 6. Eliminate the fear of being alone. A man who fears solitude will cling to anything that distracts him from himself. Relationships, noise, entertainment, meaningless conversations, constant stimulation. But silence is where self-respect grows. When you avoid being alone, you avoid confronting the truth about your habits, your wounds, and your potential. Picture someone who jumps from call to call, chat to chat, staying busy so he never has to sit with his own thoughts. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. The action step: spend 30 minutes daily without devices or input. Let your mind breathe. The insight: the man who becomes comfortable alone becomes unshakable around others. Number 7. Eliminate the attachment to outcomes. Attachment creates suffering because it forces you to believe the world must bend to your expectations. When things do not unfold according to your vision, frustration consumes you. Picture a man who works diligently but feels defeated if the reward does not arrive exactly as imagined. Stoicism teaches that effort is yours, but outcomes are not. Epictetus said, "Do what you must, let happen what may." The action step: shift your focus entirely to process. Define success by discipline, not results. The insight: when you release the need to control outcomes, you gain full control over your effort and peace. Number 8. Eliminate the stories you tell yourself. Your mind often invents narratives that weaken you. You tell yourself you are not ready, not capable, not worthy, or not the kind of man who succeeds. These stories become invisible chains. Consider someone who avoids opportunities simply because he believes he is destined to fail. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that things are difficult." The action step: challenge every limiting belief with evidence, not emotion. Ask, is this story true or is it a habit? The insight: rewrite your internal script and your external life begins to follow. Number 9. Eliminate comparison with other men. Comparison destroys your inner stability because it pushes you to measure your journey using someone else's timeline. When you compare, you stop seeing your own strengths. You chase achievements that are not yours. Imagine scrolling through another man's victories, feeling inadequate because his highlight reel outshines your quiet progress. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The action step: redirect attention to your personal path by tracking your own progress daily. One improvement, one discipline, one victory. The insight: a man who competes only with his past self becomes unstoppable. Number 10. Eliminate the desire for a perfect life. Perfection is a silent poison. It convinces you that life must be flawless before you can start, act, or commit. Men waste years polishing plans that never become reality. Imagine someone who wants to begin a new habit but waits for the ideal schedule, environment, or motivation. Stoicism teaches that life is imperfect by design. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." The action step: embrace imperfect action. Start where you stand. Move even if the conditions are rough. The insight: progress begins the moment you stop worshiping perfection. You have now seen 10 quiet removals that reshape a man from within: distancing from draining people, ending overthinking, releasing the need for approval, calming emotional reactivity, clearing your environment, embracing solitude, detaching from outcomes, challenging internal stories, ending comparison, and abandoning perfection. These are not additions to your life, they are subtractions. They are the chiseling blows that carve away the excess, the unnecessary, the weak, the noisy. A sculptor does not create by adding stone, but by removing everything that hides the final form. You are the same. Each deletion sharpens you. Each quiet elimination reveals a stronger, calmer, more disciplined version of the man you already are. The Stoic path is not about becoming someone else. It is about uncovering who you were meant to be before the world cluttered your mind. The truth is simple. A man becomes powerful, not by accumulation, but by removal. If this message spoke to you, subscribe to Anonymous Achiever for more guidance on Stoic masculinity, emotional control, and inner peace. This channel is built for men who want to think clearly, live intentionally, and rise without announcing their rise. Every video is crafted to help you strengthen your mind, sharpen your discipline, and return to the calm power within you. Leave a comment below and tell me which point struck you the deepest. Your words might be exactly what another man needs to read to reclaim his peace. Join the journey, sharpen your spirit, and become the man you were meant to be.